NASDAQ QQQ went up to 2% intraday today. Does it mean the worst is behind us? Or is it a dead cat bounce? Instead of speculating, let's look at what the history says based on very similar situations. Here's where we are today. The market went down more than 4% for Nasdaq QQQ on Friday, and we already covered what are the reasons that led to the major sell-off. And today it opened up 1.5%, and then intraday it went up to 2% plus. Does it mean that the market is going to bounce back? Instead of speculating, if you look at the history, we have some good guidance. The reasons that we found Friday were very similar to the instance that we are going to look at it. So if you go back to 2024, July, we had very similar bull run for more than. Things are very similar. Semiconductor industry carried the QQQ because of the earnings optimism and the results. So on July 11th, we had a very major sell-off like we had on Friday. After that, there was a couple of days of optimism and bounce back, but it eventually faded, and then it lost majority of the gain it had during the previous bull run carried by the semiconductor industry in the next month or so. You can see it here. The QQQ was heavily driven by the semiconductor ETFs. And what happened after that? Like once the earnings faded away, the money started rotating. We can see that there are other industries like utilities, they continue to grow despite there was a huge sell-off in the semiconductor and tech-heavy NASDAQ. And there are other areas where people started moving this money into that actually benefit from the rate cut or lowered borrowing cost. Markets bounce back doesn't mean that like we are safe, especially the CPI reports right around the corner. This is the time to hold your horses. And as I pointed out, this is the time where major money moves from one sector to the other, and be on the lookout. Don't chase the high flying tech heavy markets and then be the victim of FOMO.